Kia ora everyone. What I'm going to bring you today is a lower limb workout for those of you that perhaps are feeling just a little bit weak or unstable on your legs. Perhaps if we have arthritis, we feel pain within the joints and we're just a little bit unstable and it might be holding us back. I've had some requests from people who are finding during this lockdown period that they're no longer able to get into the swimming pool. So they are finding some of these land workouts a little bit challenging. So for you, I'm going to give you some exercises that you can do in your own home, show you the different levels that you can work at so that you can build strength safely and effectively through your legs. So guys, take the following workout at your own pace, all right? I can't see what you're doing, so I need you to take charge and work within your own ability level. We do want to get a little bit tired. That is going to tell the body that you want it to get stronger and fitter, all right? So have a sturdy chair or table, maybe the kitchen bench, something like that that you can work and hold onto as we do these. And if at any point you need to take a break, that's absolutely fine. All right, we'll begin by warming up the muscles thoroughly before we start challenging them in any way. All right. Just some gentle leg swings. So we're going to warm up the hip. So taking the weight on one side and just moving the leg forward and back, nice and slowly. And then we can change sides. Forward and back, just within your range. It doesn't need to be very big, but smooth movement. Let's try that again on the other side. Now I'm changing sides so that I'm holding on to my table and my supporting leg is close to the table. Nice and easy does it. Changing sides. So think about the movement of the leg. Now notice that the thigh is trying to move behind the line of my body, and it's not the knee that I'm bending at this point, like that. It's not a kick here, it's actually the thigh that's going forward and back. Now facing your support, going to just swing across the body. Now this is the one with a replaced hip. Just watch the range of movement that you have in the hip, especially coming across the body. You may not want to come past the midline, but we do want to get that side set of muscles warm as well. So just nice and slow. So we're going to do that again. Just swing forwards and back. Now you may even find that you're starting to breathe a little heavier here, and that is because we're using some of the big muscle groups of the hips and the thighs. But that's all good. We'll take that, won't we? Forward and back. And then across the body. Across the body. On the other side. Now I'm going to do just little squats here. So just sink your bottom back and down, just really slow. Now I want you to keep holding on, but I'll show you what we're doing with the width of the legs. So I'm going to turn my chair here, because you can also have a chair, but I want you to do some narrow squats with the feet quite close together, and you'll feel that in the front of the thigh, and then a little bit wider so that the feet are now slightly outside the hips. Again, this is going to be your preference and your range. Only go as low as you want to go. But if I show you from the side again, the idea is to stick your bottom out the back as though you're going to sit down in the chair, so that the knees don't go past the toes. We don't want this. Okay, so if it's a lot of knee bend and not much going on in your bottom, think about bottom first, bottom back, and then squeeze your bottom on the way up, yeah? But you keep holding on. There we go. Now to finish off, we're going to just do some little ankle rotations. So just circle the ankle round, out the way to start, and then in. It's really important to have flexibility about and strength about the ankles. This is if we ever trip on uneven ground, you know, maybe a pavement or something, then if we have mobility about the ankle, then we're way less likely to injure ourselves. Okay. So if you would like to continue that warm up, doing those exercises again, please just rewind the video to the point and go through the exercises again, all right? But now we'll start the other section. So the first one we're going to do is for the glutes, which is the buttock muscles. So it's a donkey kick. So I want you to think about pushing the heel as though you're stamping out backwards. If you find this is too high for you, absolutely fine, just to touch the toe back. But I want you to keep your body upright so that this muscle gets tight. That's why having the leg a little higher makes it easier to feel that sensation. Now you can do these one at a time, if you wish. Now the only problem here that I find is that the back of my leg gets a little bit sore. The hamstring is also working to keep my knee up. An option here for those who don't have high blood pressure, because I don't want you to get dizzy. If you like, you can hold on here, a little bit lower, and then pulse the leg a little higher to the roof. You can feel the glutes a little bit more because you're now working against gravity. Yeah? Keep that tummy on. You're getting a bit of a core workout and the upper body here. So this is an option. If you want a little bit more to use gravity. Remember, we're going to be doing each leg how many times? Everybody is different. We want to have a sensation in the muscle of fatigue. So that might be 5 for you. It might be 15. Okay? If you are bent over, when you've finished, come up slowly, hold on. Take a big breath in. Make sure you're not going to get dizzy. Okay? So that was for the big muscle group of the buttocks. So the next one is going to be for the hip flexors at the front. And we're simply going to do knee lifts. So the joint at the front of the hip is reducing because we're lifting up the big thigh muscle. I'll show you what I'm doing from the side. Lifting up as high as you can go. Now if that's here, that's absolutely fine. Keep your body nice and tall. And again, you can do single leg if you wish. We'll just bring a little bit more fatigue to that muscle. Now for our advanced move, we can add on a quad stretch, a quad workout, should I say. Kick, keep the leg up. However, we will be doing these quad extensions shortly. Just an option just now. Okay, so we've done the back of the hip, the front of the hip. Now we're going to do the side of the hip. So for this, we hold on to our chair or table and we're going to lift the leg out to the side. Please note how straight my body is. If I show you here, my body remains straight, but the leg, this target hip, that leg is moving. Lots of times I see this in class, which is still an exercise, but the hip that's moving is now this one. So we want to use the muscles at the side of the hip to lift this outside leg. Also note the position of my foot, toe is pointing forwards. Another common mistake is this, which changes the muscle to the one at the front. So to keep it on the side, we have to keep the side of the leg true, okay? So make sure you're doing both sides there. I'll just face you so you don't have to look at my butt. So you can keep this leg out if you want, until you start to feel a warmth, bit more than a warmth, bit of an ooh. And that's you going into the area where your muscle is struggling a little bit. And that's what we're looking for. So again, please, at any point, feel free to pause the video so that you can repeat the other side. Yeah. And make sure that the side of the hip has received enough work. All right. So, another thing that you can do, if you would like, holding on to the side, and I like to hold on to my hip here just so that I can feel all the movements. Come forwards, side, back, side, forwards, side, back, side. Bit like the movement we did before. Now just add a few forward and back, because the side muscle is a bit smaller than the front and the back muscle, so it will get fatigued faster. And let's do the other side. So this is something that you can do at any time. You're waiting for the jug to boil. Yep. Waiting for the toast to pop. Do a few little baby squats or a few little exercises for the hips. Nailed it. And a few simple forward and back. All right, I think we're working pretty well through this region, huh? Okay, so we have done the front, the side, and the back of the hip region. So, holding onto our chair, I'd like you to rise up onto the balls of the feet, and we're tightening the calf muscle. So this is down at the back of the leg here. Lift and lower. So this is a good balance exercise. So if you wanted to give it a try, you can hold maybe with one hand, or perhaps even have this other hand just hovering. So you can hold on, we don't want you to fall. And then the other side here is draw the toes up. Draw the toes up. And this is us working down the front of the leg, the shin. Draw the toes up. And you can alternate with the drawing up, toes, and you're rolling through the foot, strengthening the muscles of the foot and the lower limb. All right, so again, pause the video if you wish to repeat any of these exercises or you need to have a little rest, but we are going to be sitting down shortly. One more exercise before we sit down, okay? So this next one is for the hamstrings. Now the hamstrings run from the buttocks down along the back of the thigh bone and just attach over the knee, okay? So you did get a little bit of a work with the donkey kick. We had the thigh working there to hold up the knee. So you may find that these little butt kicks, that the muscle gets fatigued quite quickly. Yep. So we can alternate. You can do a single kick. I'm using kick because it's typically a butt kick is a warm-up exercise we see some of the athletes doing. But this is simply you drawing your heel up by bending the knee. Can you feel the back of the leg, back of your thigh? Yeah, so we're thinking about the sensation down the back. So you can alternate, which gives one leg a bit of a chance to rest while the other one is working. Or you can simply work a little harder by not giving this leg a rest. For those of you that wish a bit more, keep the leg up and maybe add a little bit of speed on. Now let's come to our last exercise. This is for the quad muscles that run down the front of the thigh. So we're going to sit down in the chair for this, guys. I'll show you what we're doing from the side on, sort of angled here. Now, I'd like you to sit quite far back in your chair so that the thigh bone is supported. This means that when we extend the leg, we don't have to overuse the hip flexors to keep the thigh up. It's a bit more challenging here because we have more play with the thigh, yeah? So, sitting right back in the chair so that the edge of the chair, if possible, can come to as close behind the knee as you can. Good. Now, sitting nice and tall, lift one leg so that you feel these muscles in the front of the thigh start to tighten. Keep yourself lovely and tall through the posture as well if you can. How does that feel? Now, your knee joint is lifting up the lower leg weight, so it shouldn't be too much. But again, remember, just go as big as you wish, yeah? So whatever your range is, that's absolutely fine. Hopefully, over time, you will get better range and greater strength in the quad, but it does require you to just keep working and making sure you let those muscles know that you want them to get stronger. Now, if you find that this is not quite enough for you, some of you may even have some of these in your house already, but you can pick them up really quite cheaply from the shops, a sports shop. It's an ankle weight. So here I've got 1.5 kilos. So you can tie this around your ankle. Now I'm sure some of the ingenious members of the community could make something like this out of some nylon stockings and some sand, maybe. But there, all of a sudden now, I have got extra weight on that leg, challenging that quad muscle a little bit more. All right? So please make sure that you're not overstressing the knee, but we do want to get it fatigued. So a few little tips there to get you working more. Now, the quad muscle has got muscles all around the thigh. So I want to just show you something here that can help you to get the lateral muscles down the side and the medial muscles here working. Now, if I show you from the front, this was what we were doing with the toe up. I'd like you just to gently turn the toe out. Now, only within your range. And just kick. Can you feel how that's changed it a little bit? Just getting those muscles working down the inside. So trying both sides. Now, how many reps should we be doing? Remember I gave the instruction that you can switch the video off if you want to do a few more. We should be just doing sufficient that we feel fatigue starting to come in the muscle that we're targeting, yeah? So this may be 10 for you, it might be 5, it might be 20. You're doing more than 20, it suggests that you can add a little bit of weight or a little bit more work to that. Now, to get the other side of the muscle, I want you just to turn your toes inwards. Again, just being aware now that we are working the joint at a slightly different angle, but just gently encouraging the outside edge of the foot to lead, and see how it just encourages those muscles down the outside thigh, yeah? Trying on the other side. Good. So these are quite big muscle groups. So we should be able to work them quite fully. And relax. Well done. Now there is one other thing that you can do for those of you that are finding that you need just a little bit more work. You could cross your legs over, and now it's the underneath leg that's going to lift the weight of the other leg up. Yeah? So you have to try to stop it. You can even push back a little bit. Yeah? Up. Up. So lots of different little ways that you can increase the work on the thighs, yeah? But again, always remembering that we don't want to aggravate any issues you may have with your joints, but it is necessary to strengthen them, yeah? All right, so there we have it, guys. We've warmed up, we've exercised. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit of fatigue in each of those muscles. Now we just need to try and stretch them out a little bit, okay? So beginning with the quad muscle here, we're going to remain in the chair, but I'd like you to come to the side and just let that foot come out back. You should hopefully feel a stretch down the front of the thigh here. You can tuck your tail under, just push the pelvis forwards a little bit, and that might help stretch. Now, lots of people find stretching boring. Lots of people don't do it. And I bet quite a few of you are now tempted to switch this video off and go, oh, that's it, that's fine. But I'd like you just to pause before you do that. First things first, got to balance both sides, but why do we stretch? What we're trying to do now is to help the muscle lengthen, stretch, but what's the benefit of that? It's going to give you range of movement around a joint to help with your flexibility. It's also going to help balance the pressures and forces on the joint so that it's going to help reduce rubbing. It's going to keep the joint in place the way it was designed and help avoid injuries. We've done the front. Now we need to do the back. So if I turn to the side, you'll see what I'm doing here. This one's for the hamstring down the back of the thigh. So I'm coming to the front of the chair. So it's just my butt that's on it. Heel out front. Can you see that? Heel out front, toe lifted, and then hinging best I can from the hip. Now, the knee's going to want to bend a little bit for most of us. We are trying slowly to get that leg straight. Slowly, especially with arthritis. One of my physiotherapist friends has said to me that it's really good to get you guys, my clients, to press gently down on that knee just to help straighten it. Of course, I asked why, and she said that it's a lot of arthritic joints tend to try to make us come forwards. So opening up hip flexors, opening up backs of knees is vital. As we lean forward though, can you also feel a bit of a glute stretch there? Yep, the butt stretch. Good. Let's come to the other side. Heel out, toe up, and then lean forwards. The other leg, of course, can be supporting, and just breathe into that stretch. So, ankles, that's what we're going to do next. I'm sure most of you, because I know I have tripped sideways on a loose flagstone or off a curb on the pavement, something like that, and whoop, with the ankle, yeah? If we don't have flexibility in the ankles, then that is when we can rupture the ligaments or tendons, pull the muscle, if we don't have the flexibility in the ankle. So I hope I'm selling you the benefits of stretching here, yeah? And look, hey, do you know, we do need to stretch a warm muscle, but things like this is the sort of thing you could do while you're watching the telly. As long as you're working within your range, you know, some dynamic moves like this, we use moves like this to warm up, don't we? So you could do this quite safely while you're sitting and watching the telly. Yeah, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Good stuff. Now, the only muscle that we've not done yet, which we need to address, is the calf muscle, all right? We're going to do that standing up. So, using the chair for support, or a wall or bench, of course. Take a step back. The heel is flat on the floor. The toes are pointing forwards. Both sets of toes, and then lean in towards the chair or wall so that you can feel a stretch in the lower part of the leg. Also be able to feel it up here as well if you're not leaning forwards too much. Yeah, this is your hip flexor. This was another area that my colleague was recommending to encourage more focus on than perhaps people normally do. Release, coming to the other side, heel down. Good. I think we're almost done, guys. You enjoy it? You did a great job. You did a great job. Now, you can get back in touch with me. Ask me any questions of anything that perhaps wasn't clear, or if there's something else that you would like me to add. I'm very, very happy to do that. In fact, that's what I would love to do. So please put some comments in beneath the video. Let me know how you're getting on so that next time I can again tailor make a video just for you. But bye for now, everyone.